Okay. So in Golden Gate, we will have one source mission. And this is the target mission. So we need to synchronize these two databases. For these purposes, we discussed earlier, there are two methods, two different procedures, not different procedures, through two ways we can say, synchronize these two databases, and we can implement the replication. So one is initial load, and the second one is chain synchronization. Okay, these are the two different ways to capture the transactions or data from the source machine, and we can replicate the data whatever we captured at source machine. Those transactions we can or transactions or data we can replicate to the target in both the ways. One is through initial load, another one is chain synchronization. Now I'm going to explain in which scenarios we are going to use the initial load, another one is chain synchronization. In case in fact I already explained last time also. Today I am going to give more details about this process, and after that I am going to explain the one of the method for replication today. So initial load is used for synchronizing the existing data at the source machine to the target machine. That means, for example, so far whatever we discussed about Golden Gate is the extract process will keep monitoring redo log files in the source location, and whatever the transactions happening at source machine, that will replicate it to the target machine. But what about the data already present at source database? How we are going to replicate the data to the target machine? So for that purpose, in order to replicate existing data, we have a method called initial load. So with initial load, we can synchronize or replicate existing data at source machine to target machine. Okay, so initial load is for synchronizing existing data, and chain synchronization means synchronizing current transactions whatever happening in the source machine to the target machine. For that purpose we are going to use chain synchronization. Okay, once again I am repeating, initial load is used for synchronizing existing data, and chain synchronization is used for synchronizing current transactions happening on the source machine to target machines. Okay. Already existing data for synchronizing for current transactions. Okay, now we already discussed about the chain synchronization some time back in a more detailed way. Just I am going to explain one more time over here. In the chain synchronization, what we are going to do is we are going to configure extract over here in the source machine. So it will keep monitoring transaction logs over here, that is those are redo log files. It collects the transaction, committed transactions from redo log files, and it pushes to the target machine. Here one collector will be there in the target machine. So the collector will receive the transactions from the existing, from the extract, and it will make them as a remote trial files, RT. So we will have one replicate process in the target machine, which keeps taking the trial files, and it will apply to the target machine. So this is the outline of our chain synchronization. Okay, so in this way, based on our load, we can have more than one extract process at the source machine or more than one replicate process at the target machine. Based on our configuration, we are going to configure it. Here, we can have additional pump also, like we can configure pump so that replication will happen in this way. Extract will we will configure the pump. Pump what will do? Pump will create one local trial files over here, and these trial files will be pumped to collector file, and collector will rest of the process will be the same. So chain synchronization can be done in two ways. So one is a direct method, another one is through pump. I hope everybody is clear up to this point. Okay, so the next one is initial load. Just understand this point clearly. Initial load. So initial load means what I said. Initial load is nothing but synchronizing existing data at source to the target mission. So for example, if we have employee table will have 14 records default. Suppose if you are adding two records, two records later, these two transactions will be captured by chain synchronization process. So what about these 14 records? There should be a mechanism to configure these 14 records. So these 14 records will be replicated to target by initial load, IL. Okay, by using this initial load, I am going to replicate or move these 14 records to target machine. So what are the ways available in initial load? So we have different ways of doing replication, initial load. In broad way, I can say two ways. One is Oracle database methods. Another one is Golden Gate methods. Oracle database methods, again we have different methods. Golden Gate also we have different methods. Okay, so Oracle database methods means RMAN we can use. We can use export, EMP, export or import, data pump we can use. Another method is transportable table space method we can use. Golden Gate, when it comes to Golden Gate, we have four methods. Okay, I will tell you the names. I forgot. Let me explain you those four. Okay, so total four methods are there. File to. One second, let me come. Amir, I saw your message. Can you please allow us to record the session? Natsimha will share you all the things so that you will have a better clarity. If you want, you can record it, but I'm not sure whether I have any control to restrict or something like I don't know. I think you should be able to record it from yourself also, not an issue for me. But Natsimha is going to share by today evening. Last week we had some issues because of that. Initially there was a delay. One second. చెప్పండి సార్. Sorry. Okay. So there are four methods from the Golden Gate point of view. One is a file to replicate. Yeah, these are the four methods. One is a file to replicate, another one is file to database utility, and direct load and direct bulk load. So these four methods also I'm going to explain. So as I mentioned, one is four methods are there here for initial load from the Golden Gate point of view. So what we discussed for initial load method, we have database methods as well as Golden Gate methods. So the question comes, which method I have to use? So the answer to this question is like, based on your comfort as well as based on your business requirement, business situation, we can use different methods. Overall methods, if you say database methodologies means most of the DBAs are well versed with the database utilities. So most of the time people used to prefer database utilities like through RMAN or Golden Gate, sorry, import or export or transportable table spaces. Golden Gate methods are little faster, but little complication is involved. As of now, I mean, so far I used direct methods only. I mean, like Golden Gate, not Golden, Oracle database methods only. But I'm going to show other methods also. Oracle database methods are little, easy, but it takes a little time. But it is less complication is involved and easy because most of the DBAs are well versed with those processes. So we can use RMAN method or we can use export DMP. Mostly people used to go for export and import for the initial load. After that, they will go for other processes. Okay. Now, coming to the RMAN process and import process, how they will work in general way, just I will give a brief idea about it. Before that, I will explain you how general initial replication will happen. First, we will configure the change synchronization. So what happens is, change synchronization, what it does is, it will start capturing the current transactions, whatever happening. For example, we configured the change synchronization, and second point is start the extract at source. So what it does is, it will keep tracking all the committed transactions at source location so that it will record into the trial file, whether it could be at source or whether it could directly write to the remote trial file. But extract will keep track of all the transactions, whatever happening at the source location. So this is the second one. Third one, what we will do is, we will perform an initial load. Fourth one, we will start the replicate. Replicate at the target. Okay. So why we are using this method? Why we are using this order particularly? We need to do initial load generally first. After that, we need to go for change synchronization. Why we are doing this method? Let me explain you. So for example, let's assume that we are going to take the export for, we are going to use export for initial load. And your database is around 500 GB, or let's take an example of 1 TB database, or 500 GB, let's take an example, which may take 6 hours time. So, you started the database export at 10 AM, so which is going to end at 4 PM. So, in between 10 to 4, there could be n number of transactions might be happening at source machine. And your extract has been started at 10 o'clock, 10 AM. So, extract will not capture all the transactions whatever happening in the source, because we already started the extract at 10 o'clock and the transactions happening after 10 o'clock. So whatever the transactions happening after 10 o'clock, those will not be included in the export file, but we need to keep track of all those transactions also. Here you may say we can stop the transactions, you may say. Of course, if you stop the transactions, then there is no problem. But for a small initial load, business will not give you downtime of 6 hours or 8 hours. Business requires continuous availability of your database. So most of the cases, most of the scenarios, business will not give downtime for this activity, because there are other alternative ways to achieve this. So for this reason, we have to work out something so that there won't be any downtime for the database. So for that reason, we are configuring the change synchronization configuration, and we will start the extract. The advantage of this method, starting the configuring the change synchronization and the extract before performing initial load is, for example, we are doing the export operation at 10 o'clock. What we will do before 10 o'clock itself, we will configure the change synchronization, we will start the extract. So when we start the extract, as well as when we start the configuration of change synchronization as well as extract, what it does is this extract process will keep monitoring this redo log files, and it will pump to configure collector whatever the transactions it is receiving, whatever the committed transactions, it keeps sending to the collector process at the target machine, and collector process will keep recording those transactions into the trail file. Of course, we are not starting the replication. Just we are starting the extract process, and extract process will collect the transactions from source machine, and it will it will send to collector. Collector will put those transactions into the trail files, but it will not apply to the target machine. So before 10 o'clock, we are before 10 o'clock, we are starting the configuring the change synchronization as well as starting the extract process. Means it will keep tracking, it will keep track of all the committed transactions in the source database, and it will put into the remote trail file. So those transactions are safe for us. And after that, we will start the export process, initial load using any of the methods like RMAN or export import or any other methods, and we will complete the initial load. Say for example at 4 o'clock initial load is complete, export is completed at the source machine. So what we will do, we will ship that file to the target machine, and after that we will import it to the target machine. So those 14 records will be available. Once these 14 records are available at the target machine, then we will start the replicate process. What replicate process will do? We have the data from 10 to, whatever the data available at 10 o'clock, export is covering. After that, whatever the transactions happen to my database, those transactions are available in my trail files in the remote location. So those transactions will be applied to target machine using replicate. Okay, so this is a general way how we are going to configure the change synchronization as well as initial load. So as I explained, initial load can be done in different ways. One is Oracle database methods, another one is Golden Gate methods. Oracle methods are RMAN, export and import and transportable table spaces, and Golden Gate methods 4 are there, file to replicate something are there. I'm going to explain those things also. File to replicate, file to database utility, direct load and direct bulk load. These are the 4 methods. I'm going to explain them also. Now coming to the database methods, which method is best for which situation? Just I have an idea about few points in my mind for those. I'm going to explain you now. RMAN will be used. So this RMAN will be used when there is no target database at the target location. Say for example, you built a target mission just recently and you don't have target mission at the target location, target database at the target location. So what we will do, we will take a RMAN backup at the source mission with a checkpoint of, with a flashback point up to 10 o'clock in the morning. So whatever the data available up to 10 o'clock, it will take the backup and we will push the data to the target mission and we will create the database over there. So when we need to build a database freshly at target mission, so during that method, during the time, RMAN would be one of the best option. So that is, otherwise export import is the easiest way in the database methods and it's a straightforward, so it's a good method. In this export and import, what we will do, we will take the checkpoint number of the database, source database, and we will take the export up to that checkpoint. Up to that checkpoint means, say for example 10 o'clock, we need to take the backup up to 10 o'clock. So we will give a checkpoint number, the CSN number, whatever it is available in the source database. Up to that particular CSN number, we will take the export. Whatever the transactions happening after 10 o'clock, our export will not consider them. So our database will, our export will take the data how it was at 10 o'clock only. Okay, so we will use that particular option CSN number. So what will happen is that this export will contain the data, whatever available at 10 o'clock. So in this way, we will use like RMAN or export based on our requirement. Table space also similar to meeting. Sure. Right, brother? Sorry. 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 Okay. Okay. Sorry, guys. Okay, where we were, RMAN and export. Transportable table space also we will discuss later. These are the Oracle database methods. Golden Gate methods, whatever I shown you, those also similar to RMAN, these methods only difference is that we are going to use Golden Gate technology to do the changes. But those are little faster as compared to Oracle methods, but a little complication is involved. Basically what you have to do is you have to create the objects, everything over there in the target mission. After that you need to start the Golden Gate methods. And of course those will be very fast as compared to Oracle Golden Gate methods. And tomorrow I am going to show more about these Golden Gate methods. Now today I am going to show unidirectional replication using Oracle method for initial load. Means this is a source and target. Two processes will be there. One is initial load will be there. Another one is chain synchronization will be there. In the chain synchronization, I will configure extract process here, and one collector process will be here, and one replicate will be over here. So this will create a remote trial files over here in the target mission, and replicate will will apply to the target mission. Okay, and initial load, what I am going to do over here is I am going to use export. For chain synchronization, I am going to configure one extract in the source mission and one replicate in the target mission. I hope you remember that for collector, no need to configure anything from our side. So Golden Gate will create automatically by itself. So there is no specific configuration for collector process. So we are going to configure extract as well as replicate as a part of chain synchronization. And as a part of initial load, I am going to use export and EMP process, export and import to synchronizing existing data. So that's all about the target what I am planning to do today. Okay, so as I explained you previously, I am going to configure chain synchronization, means I will configure one extract and one replicate, and second one is I will start the extract. Third one is I will perform the initial load. Fourth one is I will start the replicate. Okay, so this is the process, and before moving ahead this topics like configuring this chain synchronization all, I'm going to explain one more point called checkpoint table. Initially, when I was explaining about this architecture, I explained about the checkpoint file. What I told was, for every process, whether it could be extract or whether it could be replicate or whether it could be data pump, there will be one checkpoint file will be created in the Golden Gate home directory, not in the directory, under Golden Gate home directory, DASHK folder will be there. In that it will create a checkpoint file for each process. For example, extract process will create one file and replicate will create one file. Suppose if you configure data pump also, it will have one more checkpoint file. So this is a general concept which we discussed. Apart from that, replicate can have checkpoint table. Replicate can have file plus replicate can have one table also. This table is called as a checkpoint table, which will be stored in the target mission. So what it does is just multiplexing the checkpoint file, whatever available in the checkpoint file at the replication side, that will be multiplexed to table. So the same copy will be available in the database also. This can be used in case of any recovery is required. So for that reason, we can use the checkpoint table. So with the checkpoint table, what will happen in case of any problem with the checkpoint file? So we can restore the contents from the checkpoint table. So that is the main advantage. Now I am going to show you how to configure the checkpoint table. Once the checkpoint table configuration is completed, then I am going to show you rest of the configuration. Okay, so that is my target today. So before configuring the checkpoint table, let me explain a few points related to checkpoint, then I will show you how to do that. Checkpoint table information will be stored in one of the file called globals. Okay, this is the one of the important file. It will be located in Golden Gate home. Okay, G_home, Golden Gate home. What it does is that it contains all the parameters applicable for the entire Golden Gate. Means, suppose if there are any particular parameters related to the extract or related to the replicate, we will create a one separate file, parameter file for that particular extract or replicate. But what about the parameters which are applicable for entire Golden Gate environment? Means those parameters will be placed into the globals file, and this globals file will be available in Golden Gate Oracle home, Golden Gate home location. Okay, so in this file, in this globals file, we are going to specify checkpoint information, first step. And the second step, what we will do is, we will add the checkpoint in the database using some specific process. So automatically it will create a checkpoint table in the database, in the target mission. Okay, so today I am going to configure, I am going to show you unidirectional replication. Means replication. Unidirectional replication means source will be in read-write mode, target will be in read-only mode. Okay, means transactions happening in the source machine, only replication will happen in the target. So replication will be available only at the target mission. So we are going to create the checkpoint table in target site only, because replication is running only at the target mission, and the checkpoint table is applicable for only replicate, not for the extract. So we are going to create the checkpoint table in the target mission. So I explained you what is the use of globals file, and I explained you how to add a checkpoint table. The steps are, we need to specify the checkpoint table details in the globals file, and then once you specify the checkpoint table details in the globals file, then we are going to add using golden gate commands. So what are those golden gate commands and everything I am going to show you. Okay, so this is about it. Okay, let me switch to the systems so that you will have an idea. And as a part of my configuration yesterday, I created already checkpoint table in both the databases. Now I'm going to drop them and I will recreate freshly for you to have a better idea. Okay, I'm coming back to my system. So this is the source mission and this is the target mission. In the target mission, I created environment variable called gg_home. So when I give cd, it goes to directly golden gate home. My golden gate home is u01/gds11g. In that there is a file called globals. So this is the file. In this file, I am going to add an entry called checkpoint table, and that particular table name. So just I am dropping all these details. I will show you again. So globals file, I dropped it because it contains nothing except checkpoint table. Now I am going to, let me retain it first. I am connecting to Golden Gate. I am connecting to the database using db login user ID, gg user password, gg user. I connected to the database. Drop. This is for dropping. Drop check table. Sorry, delete checkpoint table. Sorry. So it is asking for, okay, I dropped it. So in the database also there won't be any table. There should not be any table. So the checkpoint table gone. Now, what we are going to do is, assume that we don't have this file. This is a new file, and we need to add this entry to this file. That is checkpoint table space GG user, means in which user we need to create table name table. So the name of my checkpoint table is checkpoint table. Otherwise, I can create a different table also. I will show you that one. Let me delete this file also. You will have an idea. Okay, we don't have any file. Okay. First step, what we need to do is ggSCL. This is the starting point for creating checkpoint table. First, we need to create globals file. How we are going to do? Edit params globals. Okay. In this, I am going to specify. Say, let's take an example. Nara checkpoint, or you can say US checkpoint. We can say US checkpoint table. Okay. So this is the checkpoint table my system has to use. So I am adding these details to globals file. I'm saving and I'm exiting back. So I created one parameter file. That file name is globals, and it contains checkpoint information. I'm verifying it. Okay, so that contains checkpoint table, checkpoint who is owning GG user, and US checkpoint table. This is the information it's available. And let's check whether the file has been created or not. Okay, so the file has been created just now. This is now 4 o'clock as per the server time. So 4:08, the same file has been created. Okay, now I will go back to the database, Golden Gate. So first step is completed. What is that? Okay, now I need to create the checkpoint table in the database. I specified the checkpoint name in the globals file. Now I am going to create the checkpoint table. So for creating the checkpoint table, we have a specific command. I will show you how to do. In that case, what we can do, help you can give. So automatically you will get the information about the checkpoint table. This is a checkpoint table is the one object. On that we can perform these operations. One is add, delete, cleanup, or info. Okay, so we can use it for delete the checkpoint table, cleanup for cleaning the contents, and info means for information. Okay, now I need to add the checkpoint table. I already connected to the database from Golden Gate session. Now I am going to add checkpoint table. That's all. You will give nothing. So once you give this command, automatically it will create a one checkpoint table in my target mission. So this is a blue color screen. This is the target mission, and we already checked over here in the Golden Gate schema. We don't have any tables. These are recycle bin tables. You can ignore it. So nothing is available. Now I am creating the checkpoint table. Okay, no checkpoint table has been specified, and using global specification, and this is the GG user US checkpoint table. It has successfully created the checkpoint table in the so-and-so location. Suppose if I give the checkpoint table, add checkpoint space the checkpoint table name, it will create. But I want to use standard method, that is specifying the checkpoint table information in the global, and I'm creating. So it used the globals file. Now let's see what the tables have been created in the target mission. This is the target mission. Suppose if you see, it created two tables. One is US checkpoint table. I added US earlier, so it created US checkpoint table and US checkpoint LOX. So these are the two tables which will be used for our checkpoint information in the database. So this is the information for checkpoint table. So we configure the checkpoint in the target mission, and now we will proceed with what it is, configuring the chain synchronization, etc. And I created most of the document for this last evening. So I will go through this so that you will have an idea. Okay, so let me explain this configuration. So this is the source mission, and we are going to configure the extract over here, and this is the replicate remote trial files over here, and replicate will be here, and the target mission. So I'm going to configure the extract. So this is the information. Host name is gghost01 and gghost02, and username which we are using for Golden Gate operations is one is gg user, another one is also gg user on the target mission, and database name is IndiaDB is the source mission, and the target is USDB. And replication schema, what I am going to do is Scott user over here. Here also Scott user. And replication table is employee. Here is also employee. Okay. So as a part of that, the process is first we need to configure the manager process, and the second one is supplemental logging we need to configure. Third one is we need to configure the extract process. Fourth one is that is the source mission steps. Next one is we need to configure the manager at the target process, and the second one is configure the chain synchronization replication group at the target mission, and and we need to start the replication extract in the source. I think here I haven't mentioned it. I'm going to show you all those. So in the sources thing, we already completed the manager steps. We configured the port with the 780, and I mentioned here another two more parameters. Those are not required, not compulsory. I will explain you later these two. So I configured the manage process already in the last week. So okay, manager has been already configured. I think extract already they're running. Just I'm going to drop them. Okay, before stopping any extract, we need to stop it. Stop extract. Yes, I'm clearing existing configuration. That has been cleared. Here cleared, but this one. Oh, here only deleted actually. Okay, I saw this one and I immediately connected it. Okay, and the target mission also I configured replicate process. I'm going to drop them. So I need to connect to the database DB login. What is the name? User ID, GG user, delete replicate process. So I should have stopped it, then only I can start, Info all, it is running. Stop. Then I will give delete replicate. Yeah, the reason why it is error is it is not able to get the information about the checkpoint table, so that is the problem. Okay, I will troubleshoot this. Okay, I will troubleshoot it later. For timing now, let's start with the extract process. Extract process is like it's only manager is running as per the document now. Now I need to start the manager. Manager is already starting. So now the next step, what it is, we need to add the supplemental logging. I explained you what is the use of supplemental logging. So the advantage of supplemental logging is that it adds more information about the records which are being updated, so that replication can able to locate those records easily at the target mission. So add the more information about, like it may add about the primary key, or it may add about more uniqueness of that record, so that replicate can easily find those information. So in this supplemental logging, there are two steps. At database prompt level, we need to do something, and the second thing is that you need to do something at Golden Gate prompt level also. At the database level, just we need to enable the functionality of supplemental logging. So for enabling the supplemental logging at the database level, what we need to do is we need to just enable, we need to run this command, alter database add supplemental logging. So what happens is, when you do this one, automatically supplemental logging feature will be enabled, but no information will be added. Okay, please note that point. So I already did last night, but anyway, I will show you how to do that. So I am using another session so that it will be easy for you to understand. So I am connecting to the database. My database name is $V database, IndiaDB. Okay, so I already configured supplemental logging. So this is the command to check from the $V database. You need to check this column, so it will show it as a S, supplemental underscore log underscore data underscore min. So it will show you this one. So suppose for purpose, I am disabling this one. Okay, supplemental is no. So you will receive the database in this state initially. So what you need to do is, you need to enable the supplemental logging, that is alter database, add supplemental log data. So once you do this one, what happens is, let's see. So automatically this column, supplemental underscore log underscore data column will become S. Okay, so this is about the database level. So in the enabling supplement transaction section, I did first phase, that is enabling the feature. Now the second one is at Golden Gate prompt level, we need to enable the transaction tran data for, supplemental logging for that particular table for which we are planning to implement the replication. In our example today, I am going to show you replication of employee table. So for that reason, we need to enable the supplemental logging for employee table only. No need to enable for rest of the tables. So for that reason, what we are going to do is, we are going to connect to the database in Golden Gate prompt. Then I am going to enable the transaction log for a supplemental log for that particular table. Okay. So this is the one command. Now employee table, let me explain you. Okay. Okay, employee table having employee, are you able to see? Yeah, employee number as a primary key, and there is one more table called DEPT. DEPT having DEPT number as a primary key. However, this employee table is having DEPT number as a foreign key, which is referring to DEPT table. Means this is a child table and this is a parent table. Okay, so whenever you are doing a replication for a child table, you have to include its parent table also for replication. So that is a default rule in Golden Gate. So we need to include DEPT table also. Means we need to enable the DEPT table supplemental logging also we need to enable, and we need to collect the transactions, whatever happening in the DEPT, everything we need to include in every play. Okay, so now I am going to add the tran lab for DEPT as well as the employee table. I hope everybody is following, am I right? No questions or nothing? I don't see any chat messages. Are you people able to follow? Just you can, anybody can respond in chat window if any doubts. I'm assuming that everybody is good. Okay, good. I got a response from Narsimha Murthy. Okay, so, okay, thanks Amira and Narsimha. Okay, I need to enable the transaction log for, supplemental logging for DEPT as well as employee table. Okay, now first let me see what has been enabled over here. I think I already enabled it. I will disable it. Info. I will show you the help also. Help. Tran data. Tran data, we can use three methods. One is add, delete, info. So, info, tran data, okay, info, tran data, star. Okay, so what it is telling that it is already enabled. Just let me disable it. Assume that you delete tran data now freshly we are connecting to the database. DB login user ID GG user password GG user info trend data Scott dot star I am giving instead of giving both the table names. So logging of supplemental redo log data is disabled for all these tables. Now I am going to enable either this command or I can enable in one shot also, that is star. So I am doing that. So suppose if you see, there are 4 tables in the employees Scott schema. One is bonus table, another one is DEPD, third one is employee, fourth one is the salary grade. Out of these 4, we got error for bonus table, another one is salary grade. I am going to explain you. Warning OGZ 869 error we got. What it is giving? No unique key is defined for table so all viable columns will be used to represent key, but may not guarantee the uniqueness. Key columns may be used to define the key. Okay. Now, what exactly means this bonus table doesn't have any primary key or unique keys. So, what it does is that whenever any changes happens on bonus table, it will record all the column information in the redo log file irrespective of the columns being updated. So, since there is no primary key or unique key, it will add all the information in the redo log. So, as a part of supplemental login. So that is the disadvantage over here. I mean, that's the warning it is showing, but anyway, it is going to replicate, so there is no issue, but it is not the good practice. And next one is the employee table, DEPT table. So logging of supplemental redo log is enabled for so-and-so table, and employee tables also it has added. And there is for last table, sal grade, it hasn't enabled because that also doesn't have primary key as well as unique key. So what happening is that the best practice is that like try to include a unique key or primary key on all the tables so that it's a good practice. Now I enabled the transaction log for the Scott schema. Let me check info tran data Scott.star. Say if you see, logging of supplemental redo log data is enabled for bonus table. What are the columns it enabled? It enabled on all the columns available in bonus table. So Scott.dept supplemental logging column supplementally logged for DEPT is DEPT number, because DEPT number is the primary key for DEPT table. So employee means EMP means employee number it is going to record. For sal grade, this doesn't have a primary key or unique key, so it will record all the columns. All the column means grade, low salary, high salary, something. So whatever columns it has, so it is going to record all those columns. So this is about the transactional supplemental logging. Next one. Now configure the change. What? Configure the change synchronization extract. Extract means now I am going to configure this extract. Okay. So in this extract we have different steps. So I am going to explain once, then I will do the practicals for there. So first what I need to do is that I need to add the extract in the source database using this command in the golden gate. Okay, I will explain all these things. And after that we need to configure the parameter file. So using this not parameter, this is related to the remote trial file location, means where it has to place the trial files. Why? Because in this configuration, I am configuring the extract, and this extract will push all the transactions to the remote side. It is not, we don't have pump in this configuration. So what it happens is that it directly pushes the file transactions over here. Here in the target mission, collector will create a trial files here itself. So we need to specify those remote trial file location, etc. So that is the reason this second step. Okay, I'm going to explain. Third one is we need to create the parameter file for the extract, and after that the source side configuration is completed. So first step is in this configuring the extract, we need to add the extract. Okay, so before going ahead about extract, I'm going to explain you one more topic. What is the naming convention I need to use? Okay, say naming convention I used to use for extract as well as replicate. This is very, very important. Of course, it is not technically important, but for managing the system in an efficient way, the naming convention is very, very important. If you give a proper names, it is going to be very easy for you. Otherwise, it's a very confusion point. So, if you observe any component, like in Golden Gate, data flows from one location to another location. That is in unidirectional, data goes from India DB to US DB. Suppose if we configure in a reverse direction, means US to India. So what happens is that for in every transactions, in any configuration, data flows from one mission to another mission. Okay, so means there will be two ends. One is India, another one is US, or one is source mission or target mission. Like that, there will be two ends in any Golden Gate configuration. So the best practice is that try to include starting point and ending point in the component. Say for example, I am going to configure extract in the source location. So extract, what is the source for extract? India DB is the source for this extract. And what is the target for extract? It is going to push the, not this one, sorry. This one. Say here we configure the extract command, extract component. Extract will keep collecting the data from the source and it will push to the target. Means target is the USDB and source is the India. So means there are two endpoints over here. So for naming this extract, it is a best practice to include both the endpoints, that is source mission as well as target mission. So my best practice, what I used to do is, sorry, my throat is not good today. I will put component name. Component name means whether it is extract or replicate. I will put in the first place. Next one is source. I will put name in the name, and target location I will put. Okay, this is the naming convention. Some people use application name also here. Okay, we have a such kind of scenario. We have a source mission and target mission also. We have used our application also. But in our in the practicals, I mean in our course, what we are going to do is we are going to mention source information, target information, that is sufficient for us. But in a real-time scenario, you can use application name also. I will explain you how it is going to help you. Say for example, for my extract, how I am going to use. What is the first one? The component name I mentioned. What is that? Component. So this is first portion will be a component name, whether it is extract or replicate. So I am configuring the extract means ext. You can give any name. It's not compulsory, but it's a best practice. Okay, and the second one is source mission. Source means, what is the source DB? IndiaDB. For abbreviation, I am putting as an IND. Okay, and for the target, what is the target? USDB is the target. So I can create US as a, I can add US. Okay, so say for example, if you have HR, if the application is HR application, you can use HR also. EXT IND US HR is my extract name. What it is telling is that this is a process for extract. This is a group of extract, and so it is replicating. It is extracting from India database and replicating to US, and this belongs to HR schema or HR application, we can say. So in our applications everywhere, I am going to use this standard EXT extract IND US. Okay, I am not going to include application name, but you can use it also. Okay, this is the naming convention I am going to use. It is going to be very, very useful when you have multi-node replication, multi-endpoint replication. In my office, we have 4 data centers, and across 4 data centers, we have 4 different servers, and data will be replicated across all the endpoints. Means, say for example, we have 4 locations. One is Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. Okay, we have 4 servers in each location is having 1 server. So whatever the changes you are doing at Mumbai, the same data will be replicated rest of the locations at Delhi, Kolkata, and Chennai. Suppose if you are doing any transactions at Kolkata, the same data will be replicated across all the endpoints. So Delhi, Mumbai, Chennai, like that. So we have 4 endpoint replication in my office. So in that scenario, this convention is very, very useful, because we will come to know which component is doing from where to where, and what component, whether it is a replicate or whether it is a extract, we will come to know. So that is the reason this naming convention is very, very important. Now let's come back to our extract. Okay, now I am connecting to the source machine because I have to configure the extract in the source location. So I am checking what are the components available in my machine. Now only manager is running. So now I am going to configure the extract. For configuring the extract, the command is I am going to explain each and every command point also in this. Add is our keyword, and add extract is our syntax only. Our ext is our extract component, IND is source, and US is my endpoint. So this is the extract name. After that, I am specifying from where it has to capture the transactions. It's a transaction log. Transaction log for Oracle is redo log file. When I specify this one, automatically it will start reading from the redo log files. I'm sorry. Next one is begin class. In the begin class, we have 2 options. Either we can specify now, or we can specify some time. Okay. In our configuration, I'm going to use now. So this is the command to add a extract in our extract. If you observe, can you please paste your notepad commands too? Amir, I will paste it to you once the session is completed. Is it okay? Okay, I will share this entire notepad also later. So this entire notepad contains commands related to our unidirectional replication. So I will share this notepad to you. So add extract name, and begin now. I mean from where it has to read, after that begin now. So I am doing that. So it added extract. So now if I see info all, what it is extract stop its status, And what is the name of that extract? This is the name. So here in Golden Gate we will call it as a group. Okay, extract group is this one. And lag and time since this is you can ignore it for timing. I will explain you later what is this lag and everything. Okay, so we created the extract. Now to get more information about this one, we can give this one. To get more information about this extract, we can give like info that particular group name. So what it does is that when it has been created, and the most important thing is these are the two columns which you need to consider, and this one. Okay, if there is any issues with the extract in the later cases, later stages, we are going to use this command info. This one automatically it will provide from currently where the extract is reading and which RBA and what is the SCN number. Okay, currently it is showing as a 0 RBA and 0, but later I will show you what is the values when we start it. Okay, so as a part of first step, I added the extract. Now I'm going to specify remote trial information. Okay, so remote trial means this extract has to send the transactions to this place. I have to specify about this remote trial location. So that one, since we don't have pump over here, so we need to configure the details about this remote trial location. So that also we have to specify here only, because this extract has to send the information to the target machine. So it has to know which machine it has to send and what is the manager port number over here and where I have to push the files. So those are the three important information I have to give. So that information is provided over here. So here, sorry. Okay, so add RMT trial, and I will explain you this one also now. Okay, add RMT trial, remote trial, this is the command, and location of remote trial files in the target machine. Target machine means USDB here. Okay, and in this dot represents Golden Gate home. Golden Gate location means wherever we install Golden Gate. Under that, dir dat, generally the place where trial files will be available, and this is the prefix of the trial files. After that, it will create 9 character digits in 12C. In 11G, it is a 6 only. 6 digits number will be added over here. And after that, we are linking with our extract process, whatever created earlier step. Here, what is the extract name over here? EXTINDUS. This is the extract name. So I am linking that extract over here. EXT extract. After that, that extract name I am specifying. So what will happen is that this remote trial will be linked with our extract. Before that, I need to give one more update. Okay, if you see info all, we are seeing only manager process and extract process, no other component. Okay, info RMT rail, nothing is there. Info RMT rail star, nothing is available. Okay, now I am adding the remote trial. Okay, remote trial has been added. If I give info all I will get only manager as well as extract information only, but we will not get anything about the RMT trial. For getting the information about the RMT trial, I have to give RMT TRAIL trial star. Okay, so what it does is that it will list all the remote trial files information. Means what is the this is the location, remote trial location, and to which extract it has been associated, and currently which sequence number and which RBI it is doing, and this is the file size. You can change this file size also using megabytes or something option is there with that, so we can add it and we can change it also. We have that flexibility. Okay, so this is about the adding the remote trial file. So what we did extract, and after that we did a remote trial. Now third step is we need to add extract parameters. So try to understand this one. I am going to explain all these things. Okay, in general sense, we have an extract over here. It has to send the information to some different endpoint, that is, this is the target mission. In order to communicate this mission, we need to have this mission name and through which manager it has to communicate, and third one is the remote location where it has to send the files. These are the three information we need to specify. So those information only we are going to specify in this extract configuration file, that is extract parameter file. I will explain you all these things one by one. First step in the extract parameter file is we need to specify the extract name to which this file belongs to. First one is the keyword extract. After that, this is the name of the extract. Ours is EXTINDUS. Okay. And second one is this extract has to connect to one particular database in order to capture the transactions. To which database it has to configure, that environment variables we are going to specify over here. So first one is the Oracle home. Okay, and we are going to specify the database name. Third one is NLS underscore lang parameter. So these are the common environment file, environment variables. Environment variables, how we are going to specify, set env. Here one space will be there, and after that we will specify the environment variable name and its value. So when our database, when our Golden Gate extract is trying to connect, it will use these values in order to connect to our database. Okay. Next one is, these are the three parameter details. After that, we are going to specify to which database it has to connect. Okay. I mean, not to which database. What is the username and password we are going to specify. So username is gguser and the password is gguser. Password is also gguser for us. Okay. So this is about the source mission. Now these two details are the targeted details. These first two details. One is remote host, means which host. GG host, GG host 02 and MGR is 78. MGR port is 7809. Okay, RMT trial is, this is the location where my remote trial files will be there, and these are the tables which I am going to replicate. Two tables are there. So I prepared all the commands over here, just I am going to show you. Okay, so extract is so and so, Oracle environment is, this is the name of our Oracle database, Oracle home, and this is the source database name, and this is the parameters, and this is the GG. Okay, GG host 02 and MGR is so and so, this is the one. Okay, and one more important point is that if you observe, none of the commands, none of the lines having a semicolon at the end. However, for tables class, we need to specify end, semicolon at the end. So this is the important point we need to understand. So in order to add the parameters, view params, ext ind us. Okay, ind us. Okay, yesterday I configured it, so we have already. One more point over here is that even if you drop the extract, it will not delete the parameter file. So yesterday I created it, and today morning in your session I dropped it. So because of that, extract is not available in the Golden Gate, but its parameters are available. So this is the first line. So just a comment about this one, and extract ext inds, ind us, and Oracle home location sid, and language user id, password, and remote host. After that, remote try, tables equal to table so and so, and table this one. So I added this information. Okay, now view and edit and view parameters. So means assume that we already did now. Okay, so now in our configuration we completed what is that extract, we configured it. Okay, it is in a stop state. Now the next step is okay, I'm not dropping this file because it has been created. Otherwise I can drop it also, not a problem. Let me go through. Where the file will be available, dir prm. Okay, and last week I think Amar, you asked me about the j agent.prm. I gone through that and I will explain it sometime later. It's some agent related parameter file. Okay, so now there is no parameter file for our extract. So now I'm going to create now using our regular process ggsci db login g user id gg user password gg user. Okay, now edit params ext ind India US. Now I'm going to add whatever parameters we created over here. The reason everything I'm showing you, just you will have a better idea. That is the reason I'm showing. I mean, you will not have any confusion. ext ind us. Okay, all the information is available. If you come out of this session and if you see dir prm, you will be able to see that parameter file. That is this one xt. Okay, so now the parameter file has been created. Okay, now source side configuration is completed. In the target configuration, configure the manager we already did, and we specified the port as 780109, and we haven't used this one. I will explain you this one later. We need to start the manager. We already started the manager here. Okay, and replicate. Actually, this is a little special case I need to drop because the checkpoint is not available. I will do it later. It takes a little time. So I'm going to use something different. Replicate one or something I will use for time being. Now manager is available and manager is running. And next one is configure the change synchronization replicate group. Means replicate process I have to configure. So for replication, create a replication checkpoint table. We already did that one. So this is the database session. We have already database. Second step is use the add replicate command to create the replication group. Okay, info all. What we will do, just we get that one. Now add replicate name is so and so, and where it has to read is this is the location we are linking. Okay, I will explain. Okay, add replicate. This is the syntax. After that, we are specifying the replicate name. You replicate IND India to US. It is replicating. Just I am adding one for new name, and where it has to read extract try is located at this so and so location. Okay. I am going to add. Info all, only manager is running, forget about other replicate process. Okay, so I will change it to something different name. Okay, I will. Okay, in the US, just I remove the S character. Okay, replicate has been added. Info all. So this is the replicate which I added just now. Okay. Now next step is I need to specify the parameters for this replicate. So what are the parameters? Same like our extract, but with slight variations in that. I am going to show you each and every one now, each and everything. So first line default, we are going to specify about the parameters, component. This is the replicate component, and replicate name is REPIND US, not US, U1, let's say. And environment is Oracle Home, USDB, and NLS underscore lang. And the database credentials to which it has to connect, GG user and GG user. And this is the important one, discard file. Okay, I will explain you later why we need to use specify discard file once the this is completed today or most probably tomorrow. Discard file. After that, we will specify location where it has to create one file and append, and I will give you full details about tomorrow. And assume targets I will explain you later now. Now we need to specify the mapping from where to where we are doing. So what we are doing, we are taking the source SCOT schema DEPT table to target source SCOT table DEPT schema, DEPT table. So this is the same as source mission. So there is no difference in terms of table structure. So for that reason, what we are doing, we are specifying assume target depth. So what it does mean, source table is scott.emp DEPT is same as target table, that is DEPT scott.DEPT. So there is no change in terms of table structure. That's what it is saying, assume target definitions. Okay, and we need to specify all the tables whatever we have, Scott, DEPT, EMP, suppose if you have bonus or if you have salary grade, all those information one after another we need to specify. And the next important point is every command should be ended with semicolon. Okay, so these are the points which we need to make note of it. Okay, here I am going to change for our better understanding, previous one, that one. Let me re-verify it once again. Replicate REPIND US1, these all are same. User ID is okay. Discard file. Okay. Rep underscore AND. Map the EPT. Okay. So I am going to add all to our parameter files. For parameter file, how we are going to add? That is view parameters for checking params rep indu1. Okay, parameter file doesn't exist. I will show you in the location also. drprm. So there is no parameter file for rep indu1.un1. So what I am going to okay, now edit params. What is the exact replicate name? rep indu1. Okay, so we are creating for okay, whatever the contents I collected it, I am saving over here. So I saved it, and yeah, so now I am going to check whether those parameters are reflected or not. rep indu1. So what are those parameters are available, and those parameter file also got created. I will show you. I'm not exiting from Golden Gate parameter, Golden Gate prompt, because every time otherwise I have to give a login parameter and everything, login and everything. So it created the file. Now just current date is 503, the same just now it got created. Okay, so we created the parameter file. So this is completed. Now on the source, what we need to do, now it is 9:30 for your time. Can I continue for another half an hour? Anybody is having an issue? Hello, is it okay till if I continue till 10 o'clock, your timing? Okay, what about Narasimhamurthy? Okay, I think I'm assuming everybody is okay for that. Nara and Panindra, okay. Avinash. Okay. So Narasimha also seems to be okay. Let me take for another half an hour so that we can complete the initial configuration also. Thank you. Okay, on the source machine, what I have to do is I need to start the extract. Okay. So this is the source machine. db login gg use. Okay, and info all. Now start our extract. Extract is starting. Then we will see info all. Okay, info all. Okay, running. Why I given it 2 or 3 times is when you start immediately it will the moment it starts it will show it is running. But sometimes what happens because of some other problems it may get abandoned or it may stop. So that is the reason we need to see after at least 1 or 2 times we need to check. So extract is running. So what I am doing is now I will insert the data. Okay. So assume that before 10 o'clock, as per our example, before 10 o'clock, we are doing some transactions in the database. After that, we will start the initial load. So on the source database where select name from $, database. We are in IndiaDB and we are connected to sys user. Let me connect to Scott user, Scott Tiger. So I am inserting some information to Scott schema. Before inserting, let me show you how many records are available. 16 records. Okay. We will add 2 more now. I think last night I added, so it is showing as 16. Insert employee number 1111 5 times 1 and yeah. 4 times 1. Okay. I added 1 record. So I am going to add another record. 222 BBB. So I am committing. Select count 1 from EMP. So I have total 18 records. Out of 18 records, we added 2 records now. So as per our concept, these 2 records should have gone to the trial files. Okay. Now let's see whether trial file has been created as the target mission or not. So this is the target mission and this is also target mission. So in this DRBRM, no, we are in the Golden Gate home. Go to DAR dat folder. So the file has been created. If you see 508 and the file has been created at so and so location. So this file contains the transactions whatever I did just now. So this is the target mission. I did the transactions in the source mission. I am going to update another record for your better understanding. 333 CCC commit. If you see the timestamp got changed. Earlier it was 507, now it is 509. So the file is getting updated. Okay, this is the file which I created yesterday. So this is the file which I created yesterday as a part of my testings. So this is the one and this is the file which I created. So this file has been created in the target mission. The target mission means here. So this is the file. Now next step. Okay, at source, on the source we have done and check the trial files at the target. So we created it. Now what as per our discussion initially, what I told, first one is we need to configure the change synchronization, means we need to configure the extract and we need to configure the remote trial files and we need to configure the remote replicate at the target. And the second step is starting the start extract, we did already. Now third one is start initial load. I am going to do now. And fourth one is what is that? Start replicate. Okay. So now we completed first 2 steps. In what is the scenario? Unidirectional replication. Okay, so in this we completed first 2 stages. Now third stage I am going to do. Third step, what is the initial load? What I am going to do is I am going to use initial load DB method, that is expdb. Okay, I am going to use this expdb. Here I am going to specify one specific option, current SCN. Why I am using, I will tell you. Now I need to specify export and import export operation to fix up a time from where up to which point it has to collect all the information. For that reason, I am going to collect the current SCN number from the database, and I will specify that information while taking the export. Means flashback underscore SCN I will specify along with whatever the value I specify at flashback underscore SCN. Export will take up to that point only. If you do any transactions after that SCN number, it will not consider even if export is still running. Means, say for example, you ran export command at 10 o'clock and you specified the SCN number whichever available at 10 o'clock, and your export is running for 4 hours, means export will complete at 2 o'clock. And you did a transactions at 10 or 11 o'clock, but those transactions will not be reflected in your export, even if it is export is running. I hope everybody is clear with this point. Okay. Now, as a part of configuring initial load, what I need to do is I need to collect the current SCN number. That is, select current underscore SCN number from $V database. This one I have to check it from the source machine. Source is this one. Now for running that command, I need to run from sysuser. So I'm connecting the sysdba. So I'm running. So select SCN so and so. So I am collecting this information. I am placing into my notepad. Okay. So in this number is important. Now second step is perform the export. Yeah, these commands are not required. This one is required for you. Now I need to perform the export. Whom I need to perform the export? Scott Tiger I need to perform the export, and dump file is so and so. So I mean this is a syntax for dump file. I mean this one 0 to I have already 01. Sorry, that other file is already exist, and log file is so and so. Schema is equal to Scott. Flashback is equal to, I need to specify whatever I collected from the current SCN number. Okay. Now I need to perform. Suppose when I perform this activity, how many records will be exported for an employee table? 18 records. Okay, because 16 records are old records and 2 records I added now. Okay, I'm performing this. I'm not changing anything in the Golden Gate session. I'm using other window. Sorry, total 19 records. I added another one more record now. So total 19 records it added. Okay. Now if you see, it took SCN point of this one. Okay. One more example I will show you. I think, okay, that's okay, not required. Okay. So export is completed. Now we need to transfer the file to the other server. Okay. Now I will run this command at other machine. This is nothing but a SCP, the secure copy -p. This is for retaining the file permissions and everything as it is. And this is the source machine from where I need to copy. And this is the location of my dump file which we took just now. Just you can cross check it over here. Okay. Just the file has been created just now. my target machine. So I am going to execute this command in my Golden Gate target environment. Target environment is gghost02. Okay, so the file has been copied over here. Okay, now the next step is I need to import the data. Okay, since I think already data might be available over here, let me truncate that entire information. Sorry. Okay, I deleted entire data. Now I am checking. Select star from EMP, nothing is there. Select star from DEPT, nothing will be there. And rest of the tables you can ignore it also. Now I need to import the data. So this is the command which we will use it. Okay, 1 second. I think I need to use. Okay, the reason why I given is that if the table already present, so what it has to do, just it has to append the record. That is the reason I added this class, because the tables already exist. The syntax is IMPDP system username and password, the file where it is located, and I need. You mean to say this one, replace? Avinash, you mentioned replace the file name only, am I right? Okay. Start. Oh, this one. Oh, okay, okay, understood. Append also will work, I think. Yeah, I mean, replace also will work. Replace means it will recreate the table. In our scenario, it's not required. Okay, but that also can be used. IMPDP so and so. Okay, so these warnings you can ignore because table exists, so data will be appended to the existing table, but all dependents metadata will be skipped due to inaction so and so. So okay, okay, so total 19 records is added and 4 records and 5. These are the way how it was. Okay, next one is So we completed this step also. Now start the replicate. Replicate, we need to start it. So total 19 records we included. Source also having 19 records and target is also having 19 records. Okay. Now our import process, let's assume that we started at 10 a.m. which contains 19 records. Okay. Now we have a trial file, remote trial file, which contains 3 records. Okay, 3 records are available in the trial files. Suppose if I start the replicate, what it does is it will try to apply the contents whatever available in the trial files. It will pull all those 3 records. So that means these 3 records will be inserted. It will try to insert into employee table. Why? Because those are available in the trial files. Okay, but these 3 records are already present in my employee table. So definitely it is going to give an error. Why? Because employee table cannot, there is a primary key constraint is there. Because of that, these 3 records will be rejected. Okay, so how to resolve this situation now? What happened is that, as I explained in the previous example, 10 o'clock we did IMP-DP. Before 10 o'clock we added 3 records. So our import also having 3 records, our trail file also having 3 records. So trail files are also having 3 records, and the same 3 records also exist in our import file, means that will be imported in the target mission. So how to skip these 3 records? There should be a mechanism to skip these 3 records. The mechanism is that we can instruct a replicate process to start from particular sequence number. That means we did export up to this point. Okay, so we collected CSN number, SCN number, sorry. So what we can do, we can instruct our replicate to start after this SCN. Okay, so what happens is that replicate will start from that SCN number. So these 3 records, whatever these 3 records are there, this will be before this SCN number. So replicate cannot see this, cannot replicate these 3 records, because those records have been processed before our CSN number, whatever we are specifying in the replication class. Okay, so in that way we can skip it. Now let me come back. Now now let me add one more record in the source mission. 444DDDD commit. Okay, now in the source table we have 20 records. Okay, in the target location records are there. Means after 10 o'clock, we added one more record. Okay, so our replication has to consider only one record. It has to discard these 3 records. Okay, so now I am going to start the replication. Here there are 2 ways. Suppose this is the general way, which we are not specifying from where it has to start. Start replicate name REPTRGT means this one INDU1. Okay, in this we are not specifying from where it has to start. If I say like this, automatically it will fail. I am going to share with you also, show you that one. Info all. So my replicate is down, stop. So now I'm starting replicate this one. So it is starting. Okay. So replicate has been abandoned. Why? Because it has a duplicate records. I'm going to show you that one also. So where the files will be, the errors will be available. The first point we need to check is GGS errors. Okay, if you see, it is erroring out. This is the replication parameter, replication. This is ORA 000401, unique consent violated for so and so. So this one and total 3 should be there. 1. This is 2. Yeah, this is 3. Total 3 records failed. So it placed all the information. So because of that 3 records, the replication became abandoned. Okay. Now what I am going to do is I am going to start the replication from one specific point. U1 at SCN. At SCN means from which one? This one onwards we need to start the replication. Now my replicate is abandoned state. So what I did, I corrected the command and I am going to run it. Now replication has been started. Now it is running. Okay. Now if I go to the target table, target database, now 20 records are present. If I see in the source machine, records are there. Now I will try to add one record. 555 E commit. Okay. Now see, this this one here also, we need to check whether it is running or not. Now it is running in the end source. Now we will see in the target machine. Now 21 records. Yeah, this is a target machine, and the record got replicated over here. So what we did today is we did a unidirectional configuration, and for initial load we used export data pump and import data pump, and for chain synchronization we use direct method without data pump. So in this way chain synchronization will be configured. I mean unidirectional configuration will be configuration can be configured. I hope everybody is clear. If any doubts you can ask me on these points. Any doubts so far on this subject? Sure, I mean I will do that. Avinash, your point is like how long it is? See, Avinash, so far whatever I have seen is that in the initial stage, like for chain synchronization, most of the case instantly, instantly it will replicate. There won't be any delay. Like within seconds, you can see. There could be sometimes, there could be a delay will be the 10 minutes or 15 minutes. It's based on your data. But what you can do is just you can configure the monitoring script on top of this GG process, and you can monitor it if any huge delay is there. Huge database, you asked like huge database means that whatever the huge may be, initial load will, not initial load. Yeah, initial load will cover all the data. So I don't think it doesn't matter. It's based on the number of transactions it is happening on the source machine. Based on that, the lag would lag will be lag will be there. Otherwise, there won't be any lag generally. If more number of transactions happening means lag will be more. Otherwise, it happens instantly. And the second reason is that if there is any delay in the network also, there could be a slight delay in the lag. Because that entire information has to pass through from source to target, so it may happen. It may be impacted if the network traffic is network bandwidth is not enough sufficient, or if transactions, more number of transactions are happening. These are the two factors so far I have seen. Any other questions to anybody? Oh, the other person, Panindra. Okay, that's all. I'm stopping the record now.